Well, here's a look at Tropical Depression 19, sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, central pressure at 1,004 millibars, and moving to the west at 14 miles per hour. So here's a look at where the models are in fairly good agreement of this system heading towards Central America into the Yucatan Peninsula. And as it moves further over land, it will break down the system more, weaken it more, rather than it staying over water. But once it emerges into the Gulf of Mexico, we could see a little bit of a re-strengthening at that time frame. So that's something we will be keeping an eye on. But here's a look at our setup. So we have high pressure sitting over the southeast, and that's going to keep that system to the south and west. And then high pressure is going to be sliding towards the southeast, while the cold front moving in from the northwest. And so that's going to guide the system heading more so towards the northeast and more so towards the panhandle. So that could lead to an excess of tropical moisture heading our way as we head into next week, leading to some better rain chances for us at that time frame. But until then, we're looking at some beautiful conditions. Temperatures in the 70s and 80s across southwest Florida, blue sky and sunshine for us on this Thursday morning. And so with that, Wink Live Doppler 3X radar is quiet, and that's going to be the case through the entirety of the day. Here's a look around the lunch hour, just a few clouds passing overhead, a few more clouds as we head into the late afternoon and into those early evening hours. But if you have any outdoor dining plans for this evening, going to be a gorgeous night to head outside just because of how dry and quiet it is going to be. Temperatures for today still going to be a little bit warmer than seasonal, as we're expecting highs in the mid 80s for most of us, when we should be topping out in the low 80s for this time of the year. 81 for Fort Myers, and we're actually expected to hit 86 degrees. 85 in Port Charlotte, 84 in Naples, and calling for 84 degrees in LaBelle for this Thursday afternoon. Now, as we take a look at your forecast over the coming days, you will notice a cool down coming as we head into this weekend, and that's because we have another cold front pushing through on Friday, going to lead to a few showers, not expecting widespread heavy rainfall. But behind that next front, those temperatures will be falling into the low 80s, giving us a more comfortable feel to the air, and temperatures will actually be sinking closer to our seasonal average. Right now, sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, central pressure at 1,004 millibars, working its way to the west at 14 miles per hour. Now, as we head towards the end of the week and into the weekend, the system is expected to drift towards Central America, eventually passing over the Yucatan Peninsula. So the further away from the water it stays, so if it stays over land, so more so towards the western portion of the cone, then we will see some decent weakening taking place before it reemerges out in the Gulf of Mexico. But if it does sit more so towards the eastern portion of the cone and still has some water under it, then we will see less of that weakening taking place, because it will still have a little bit of water and less of that friction to interact with. But right now, the cone is showing that it will be a depression by the time it reemerges out in the Gulf of Mexico, and we still have a lot of time to watch this. This is still subject to change, but this is what the current thinking is. High pressure is sitting over the southeast. That's what's keeping the system drifting off towards the west, towards the Yucatan. Then high pressure will be sliding towards the south and east. Meanwhile, a cold front is going to be moving in from the northwest, and so that's going to cause the system, what's left of it, as we head into next week, to be drifting more so towards the Big Bend. Again, this is subject to change because this is about a week out, but it's something we're going to be monitoring closely, and we're seeing a bit of consistency with this idea of this system heading towards the Big Bend being pulled by this cold front, which will lead to some tropical moisture heading into our direction, just leading to some better rain and storm chances as we head into the midweek of next week. But as of right now, beautiful conditions across southwest Florida, temperatures sitting in the 80s, a mix of sun and clouds, and all is dry here on Wink Live Doppler 3X, 3 times more accurate radar, and not seeing any signs of rainfall heading our way through the rest of the afternoon and even into this evening. Just a few clouds passing overhead. So if you have any plans for this afternoon or into tonight, it's going to be beautiful out there. Just get outside and enjoy the nice weather. Temperatures for today still going to be on the warmer side, as we can expect highs to top out in the mid 80s when we should be in the low 80s for this time of the year. But we have a stronger cold front that's going to be pushing through tomorrow. You can see right now it is just edging its way into the Florida Panhandle, but that's going to be dipping through tomorrow, leading to the possibility of a few showers, and then behind it, drier and slightly cooler air. So as we head into this weekend, it is going to be really nice to get outside. Temperatures actually going to be sitting closer to our seasonal average. Heading into next week, we'll see that tropical moisture moisture moving in, leading to some better rain and storm chances as we head into the midweek.